Hi everyone, it's Nicola with the Terre necklace, and we're just going to do some quick styling with this gorgeous grey leopard animal print top, and then discuss the last stop that I had in my trip, Cinque Terre. So first, some styling. So I just wanted to show you how it doesn't matter, like this is a cool top, they're more greys and blacks. Doesn't matter if you have the yellow gold in it. Don't worry about your magnet color dictating what kind of color clothing you can wear with your magnet colors. It really does not matter. They're all neutrals when it comes to it, and nothing should ever push you to wear a particular colored top with it. It's more about the color of the material it's made of, and I'll show you. So there's the yellow gold, which went beautifully, and then now I'm going to put on the black with the silver magnets. So that looks amazing too. It just depends on what you've got in your range and working with that kind of thing. Now, having said all that, there's nothing stopping you from putting a lovely, bright, bold color, like for example, a red. The ladies in the Sparkle Sisterhood are showing me that big time, where I used to kind of feel like you've got to match things up, but the pop of color is just amazing. And let me show you this just for something different. The rose gold, where you would think this is a very cool top. Like I said, I would have naturally thought blacks, grays, white, that kind of thing, but look at the rose gold with it. It really is beautiful. Now, having mentioned the white, let's pop a green on there. I mean cream, I meant to say cream, on there as well. So it's just amazing whether you want to go soft or natural. Soft or bold is completely up to you. I want to show you this as well. Then you can do something as lovely and as simple as a beautiful platinum tassel. So it always comes down to personal taste and what you like to do and what kind of look you're going for. Do you want to stand out? Do you want to just fly under the radar? It really depends on what mood you're in and where you're going. Now to Cinque Terre. By the way, thank you so much for letting me indulge in going down my trip again. It's been really, really fun actually. You know how the second you come back from a trip, it can feel like that was over months ago. And while it does feel like it was over a long time ago, it's been, I think, 2 months. Going through it all and making notes of it and every photo and every video, oh, it's been beautiful. I feel like I've just been back. So our last stop in our trip that I went to with my old best friend from high school was Cinque Terre. Now, I've got to say, this is up there with my favorite of everywhere we went to. And we went to Rome, Milan, Florence, Venice. Where else did we go? Rome, Milan, Florence. Oh, and the Amalfi Coast. This was a hell of a lot less touristy. It wasn't anywhere near expensive. Of course, there are restaurants that were up there, but not like every single restaurant. You didn't have to spend a bomb in Cinque Terre. It was absolutely beautiful. Now, where do we start? So my images and the videos that you're going to see in the next video after this one, you'll see the richness of this seaside village. Like everything just goes up. I ran into a woman the other day I said, "Are you Italian?" She goes, "Yes, from Cinque Terre, this and this." And I said, "Oh my gosh, my favorite place." She goes, "Yes, but try living a life there. Hospitals can't get to you if you live on you can't get to a hospital easily if you live on the mountainside. You know, everything's just a little bit more tricky to negotiate, just basic living and getting to the shops and that kind of thing. But for a holiday, oh my gosh, it was ridiculously good." So seaside villages, you'll see lots of cascading buildings and staircases coming down to the water, because that's, in many cases, that's the only way to get there. It was just amazing. Of course, I enjoyed an Aperol Spritz or two, which is their specialty in Italy. The streets were amazing. You can look down these streets and there's this amazing old structure or statue or tower of some sort, like really amazing. Very, very green. Right across Italy, we found it to be very green, which is quite a shock for me coming from Cyprus. It must be a lot drier because it doesn't get nearly as green over in Cyprus as it was in Italy just after summer, which is really incredible. We were there in September, so that was just beautiful. I rode a bicycle, like a push bike, and it was so much fun. There was a link between two different villages. They used this old train tunnel, and they would no longer let the trains go through. So rather than fill it up or whatever they're going to do with it, they now made it, it's a beautiful, cool, because the whole thing's under shelter with breaks in the tunnel every so often. And you could just ride straight through. People are walking their bikes, walking their dogs straight through. It was stunning and beautiful and easy, especially for someone that hasn't ridden a bike since I was 10, maybe. So it was loads of fun. That was beautiful. Okay, there's a scene where we went to a restaurant, and we learned to trust the locals very quickly. If they recommended a dish or a wine or a place to go, we went, because they never let us down. Every single one was good. So we inquired about one of their dishes, and it was a fish dish. It was baked under a bed of rock salt, at least 1.5 inches, at least. And they brought this thing out when it was finally, he said, it's beautiful, it's what we do, it's our specialty. So he brought it out. He brought it out, and the fish for two people, it actually looked this big. And I went, oh my God, what have we done? But the bed of rock salt was at least 1.5 inches. So the fish automatically came down to here by the time you take the head and the bone and whatever. So what you'll see is the guy with a hammer and a mallet cracking through the bed of the salt. And I think I took my camera out to take a video, and I think you hear him say, is it your first time? Like this. It was like, yes, it's our first time. We were freaking out. It was fantastic to see. And the flavor and the softness of the fish was ridiculous. I've never had anything like it. And our family's in the fish business all our lives. So wowee. On the beach, to hear the church bells, you really know you're in you're overseas in the Mediterranean, Europe kind of area. So that's a beautiful thing. We saw little ducks on the beach, not little, big ducks. They were so cute. Amazing mansions on the beach, and they were apparently owned by very wealthy Italian car owners. So yeah, that was amazing to see. Then you catch a boat trip. So we stayed in, oh my gosh, the name escapes me. I should be shot. That's terrible. It'll come back to me as soon as I finish. Anyway, so we're in one area of Cinque Terre. So Cinque Terre is made up of 5 villages. That's why it's Cinque. So we went all the way out to that one escapes me too. Oh no, see, it's been that long, I'm forgetting names. Oh well, anyway, it was stunning. We found amazing leather, very unique, beautiful jewelry. It seemed that anything went there, whether it was colors, old-fashioned, modern, neutrals, anything went, whatever. They really catered to a wide variety of tourists that would pass through, and it was just amazing. And to see the little meandering lanes and the villages and the shops, and it was really stunning. One of my favorites, it's up there with Venice. Those two would have been the pinnacle of my trip, Venice and Cinque Terre, just something else. So just beautiful. That was amazing. What else have I got to tell you about here? Oh yes, there's one scene when we were at this amazing restaurant in a castle up on high overlooking the water. You won't be able to miss it when you see it. And this beautiful Italian family sitting next to us. We're trying to figure out where we were from. No one could quite figure out the Australian accent. They thought that maybe we were English, which is interesting. So they were saying, what do you do? This and this, and I make jewelry, da da da. And they say, you are a joailliera. I think that's correct. All the Italians can take me on. You are, so jewelry, the word is gioiello, and that's what they're saying. And then they go on to say joailliera, which means I am a jeweler in the female sense. So that was beautiful to hear that. And I asked if they could do it again and I could record them. And the whole restaurant was watching them. They were just divine. We talked for ages. And that was my most fun part about Italy, especially Cinque Terre, where they just seem to slow right down and spend time talking with you. Speaking to the locals is really quite priceless, and really you get to learn a lot more. So I hope you've enjoyed my trip to Italy. I certainly did. And it was fun to relive it with you. Watch the next video to see all the snippets of what I've just talked about.